HefTV. YouTube.com/Lordhefty.
Isn't it possible I'm just a person? I'm none of those labels. Maybe I'm just a person. A person just as important and as valid as anybody else that's calling me that shit, or anybody else that's fucking posting that shit in the comment section. Just as important as valid as the person who's watching this goddamn video right now. Maybe we're all equal. Maybe we're all just as fucking sane. Maybe we're just fucking crazy people walking around in a world that doesn't make any sense, trying to make fucking sense of it, just trying to minimize the damage we do to everybody else. Maybe that's what I am. Maybe I'm none of those fucking labels. Maybe I'm just an empathic, kind, caring person who's trying to make sense of this crazy fucking world.
You have an outro though, which the whole band again never knows you have an outro.
We always have the outro, don't we? I think so. We've always had the outro. That's a carryover from the Mixer days.
Oh man.
When we used to be Mixerized.
I remember when we were on Twitch.
I remember we started out on Twitch. That's right.
Now you got to get back to Mixer because that's where everybody's flying to now.
I know, which is crazy because I was doing it and it was like we got a lot of subs and we got a lot of watchers and stuff, viewers. I guess you can call them watchers. That sounds kind of creepy.
Mixers.
What's that?
The Mixers.
The Mixers? Is that what they're called?
I have no idea.
I was like, well, you're much younger than myself, so that could very well be. I don't know.
The Watchers just
So-
peering in your window.
I know. I kind of like that idea. Now I want to just rub my nips and stuff. I might just keep doing it anyway. Whatever. All right. So you guys ready?
I am always ready.
You ready there, Mr. Mikey?
I was born ready.
Awesome. And I guess we'll just get this sucker started then. Top of the morning to you, YouTube. It's your buttery voiced host, HefTV, coming at you. And it's obviously Friday, which means it's podcast day. I'm super excited because not only joined by me today is...
Yeah,
That's where you come in.
Elite Tumbles. I always forget.
He always forgets. But we got Elite Tumbles, but even more so, we're super excited. We have a special guest today. A really talented guy, a real good friend of mine, somebody I'm very happy to have a part of HefTV, and he's kind of like an unsung hero of HefTV. This guy, he's been a friend for a very long time. He does all our artwork for the channel, and he's a stand-up guy, and we love the absolute hell out of him. So joined by us today is our good buddy, Mikey. Hey!
Oh, thank you for having me.
What's up? Thanks for coming on, man. We really appreciate it, buddy.
We forgot that we don't pay him.
We can't pay you, but...
We keep him in a basement.
Yeah, we'll keep you in a basement. We'll spank you.
Oh, yeah, I'll take this.
Usually
You
I
want this
see
back?
myself do these things naked.
Yeah, but
you know,
well,
when
you were here,
we
so,
just like,
yeah.
You
all
show
right,
profanities at me while you're doing it?
Yeah, we could do that, I guess so. So yeah, we're really excited. We got a pretty cool lineup of stuff to talk about today. One of our favorite subjects and one of Mikey and I's personal things, because we have both worked at this place, but we'll get to that later. And I'm not talking about the place where I currently work. I'm talking about the place that you and I formerly worked at. Yes, we'll get back to that. I wanted to start it because this is a really quick one, and it kind of ties in with the first thing I wanted to talk about. So when my brother Eddie was up last week, we wanted to get the Popeye's chicken sandwich that we had heard so much about, right? It's this wonderful thing. It's a friggin' meme. You know, if you don't know what the Popeye's chicken sandwich is, how are you on the internet? You probably are running dial-up or something, but... So the Popeye's chicken sandwich, Chick-fil-A, they've been in competition for the last month or something, and the internet blew it up like this was going to be this huge deal, and all these places are like out of chicken sandwiches and stuff. So we go to 2 different Popeyes on one day, and it was like probably around 3:45, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and we're in line at the one in Troy, and there's a sign as we get up to the register after waiting for a while, and it says, we stop serving the chicken sandwiches at 3 p.m., and we're like, okay, well, since we're down this way, let's try the one on Central Ave in Albany. So we traveled to the one on Central Ave, and same deal, but this time they were nice enough to have the sign on the door, which was nice. Like, okay, well, so we're like, all right, crap. So we're like, we really wanted to get one before, because Tui's had them before. He swears by them. He says they're very good. So we ended up the next day. We ended up going again because we figured we'd beat the rush. We'd get there early. They opened at like 10:30. We got there, I think, like at 11 to the one in Troy again. Closer. So they were out of chicken sandwiches. I'm like, you're out of chickens? Okay, well, then so Tui had the forethought. He was like, well, what about the one on Central? They were like, yes, they have them. So off to Central Ave we booked for our 4th trip to Popeyes in 2 days to try to get one of these fucking sandwiches, right? So we get to Popeyes, open the door, and there's a long line. Long line. I'm like, okay. And I look in the back, and they have like packs of brioche buns back there just sitting there. So I'm like, okay, they have the chicken sandwiches. Now, we probably have 20 people in line in front of us.
Holy crap.
Everybody was getting a chicken sandwich. Everybody that walked up to that counter ordered a chicken sandwich. Everybody in line's talking about it. I'm like, what is going on? So we get our chicken sandwiches, and we get home. But along the way, on the second day when we actually ended up getting the chicken sandwiches, I saw what was probably the most efficient homeless man I'd ever seen. Now, this guy was smart. He wasn't holding a sign. He was wearing his sign. He wrote his sign on his shirt. So all he had to do was stand there. And I'm like, now that is somebody who is thinking. Who wants to stand there? I mean, you see every homeless person has a sign, but
Give him a $5 bill.
he's got swag. He's got swag. He's got like gear now. It's like homeless gear. Like he's gonna start a line. But it was really cool too. We ended up giving him a few bucks. It was pouring rain. This poor guy was soaked, and we saw him on the corner as we were coming off the Northway, and then we saw him again after we had gotten our sandwiches coming back, and it was raining even harder at that point. So, too, he's a good guy. He gave him a few bucks and stuff, which is really cool. But I thought that was really funny. I'd never seen a homeless guy just wearing his shirt sign before. I thought that was fairly efficient.
Work smarter, not harder.
Exactly. Would you rather, Mike? Would you rather hold the sign or wear the sign, or just not be homeless? I'm assuming.
Well, if I had the choice, I'd rather just not be homeless altogether.
Well, I'm sure
I would wear it. It's a smart idea.
It is.
I also really feel bad for that guy.
I did too.
It was pouring.
It was pouring rain. It was on Monday. Yeah.
It was a bad storm.
Yeah.
That was.
And again, it was like before noon, like right around noon is where it was like really coming down. But
as I say, raining sideways.
It was raining sideways. And to everybody who's been affected by Hurricane Dorian, our thoughts are with you. We hope you guys are making it through these times. I know it's really tough, but we love you guys and we support you. And
did you say Dorian?
Yeah, Hurricane Dorian.
Oh, I've been saying it wrong all along.
What do you think it was?
Doreen.
Doreen?
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's Dorian. Like the portrait of Dorian Gray.
I feel stupid.
Well, at least you don't smell stupid.
Wait, so you can smell stupid?
Yeah.
For everyone back home, it's intoxicating scent.
It is. Yeah. It's whoa.
Sweet.
But so that was really funny. And so now we get to the point where we have the damn sandwiches. Now, at this point, we have approximately an hour and a half to get Eddie to the airport for his flight. We had seen traffic pretty much nut to butt going south on 87. When we were going north on 87, we were like, oh, well, that'll be cleared up. So I came home and made the video about the sandwich. If you guys haven't seen that, I'll include the link at the end of this, so you can check that out, me eating a very quick few bites of the sandwich. But this is why the video was so short. I was pressed for time. So I shot the video because I really wanted to do a reaction video to it because I'd heard so much about it. Long story short, the sandwich was absolutely fantastic. And again, it's just a brioche bun, chicken, sauce, and pickles. But the pickle game is super tight. The pickles were really good on it. And I would definitely buy the sandwich again, but it 100% did not live up to, like, all the hoopla around it. I'm like, it's a chicken sandwich.
The pickle game was tight?
The pickle game was tight, bro. Am I cool?
I actually heard that from a couple people.
Did you?
That the pickles just taste like more chicken.
Yeah, it was really good. The pickles were really good.
The pickles taste like chicken? Dude, that's awesome.
And they put them on the bottom of the bun, which I thought was interesting. I'd put them on the top, but they put the sauce on the top and the bottom, so you got a good coverage of both. And the chicken breast, it was super crunchy. I love Popeye's breading. I love Popeye's chicken.
Never had them.
You've never had Popeye's?
Never had Popeyes.
Well, here's what I would do. I would recommend waiting till the hype dies down and go pick yourself up one, because they are very good. I'm like drooling thinking about it, and not about my next sip of beer. I know how that may seem, but so a very good sandwich. Definitely not worth the hype though. Yeah, you're up, Tums. What do you got, buddy? I mean, we have more stuff, obviously. I'm trying to be fair. Is there anything you want to talk about, Mike?
Like event-wise, or more about the sandwich?
Whatever you want.
Oh God, I don't know. The only really news I paid attention to this week was that Sony said that the doors closed on the Spider-Man Disney deal. Wait,
What happened now?
The Spider-Man Disney deal. Have you guys
Oh,
heard about that?
yeah, because they were fighting. Sony was fighting with Disney about it. And
Yeah.
then I heard they had come to some agreement, though.
No, Sony said that the door's closed. They're not working with them anymore.
Wait.
So who owns Spider-Man right now, then?
Sony always.
Oh,
owns
okay.
it.
So they were just kind of loaning it.
They did a partnership deal with Disney.
Oh,
saying
and now they're
movies.
just not doing it anymore?
And it's like, because Disney, when they had 5% of the revenue from the box office and stuff, and they had like a ridiculous amount of the merchandising, they wanted 100% of the merchandising and 50% of the movie revenue. And Sony was just like, no, it's our property. But they said that they want 50% of movie revenue on top of the merchandising, and Sony was like, no. But everything on the internet's just like saying how awful Sony is right now.
Really?
Yeah.
They're bashing Sony?
Yeah, I didn't even
destroying
know
Sony
Well-
about it because they're like, oh, Sony's being greedy because they want more money. It's like, no, it's the opposite. Disney's being greedy. They wouldn't
Go
find-
figure.
Yeah.
Go figure.
It's like
Disney being gritty? Who would have
the
thought?
one company
Yeah.
that literally does not need any
Any
more
money. No, they
at
have a
all.
monopoly on just about every intellectual property there is. Disney owns a lot of stuff. I was watching a video recently just about how, and it is like the textbook example of a company monopoly. That they own so much shit. They have their fingers in so many cookie jars. It's ridiculous, dude. And again, you don't need that much money. Nobody needs that much money. That's stupid. How many people you could help with that money? Me. Just me.
That would be awesome.
I know. I want some of that Disney money.
We'll get you signed.
To Disney?
Disney.
I don't think I'm very Disney
Plus.
friendly. Disney Plus? All right.
And give you a talk show.
Like Disney After Dark. What will Snow White do with these 7 dwarves?
In the bottom of the right corner, brass.
Yes, oh my god. Brazzer's nice.
Oh, yeah.
So for everybody, there has been a that's been following Tumbles' plight very, 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 closely. There is an update with the Tumbles loot crate.
Alright, so
Sitch.
apparently I'm still getting the crate in October. It's called BAMF. And this is literally what the email says. First and foremost, we want to thank you for your continued patience with us. We know this hasn't been the most ideal experience, which is an understatement. But we've recently been acquired and secured new funding from our investors, so crates including your Loot Gaming BAMF crate will be shipping soon. Your crate is estimated to ship in October. You can also log in and check the status of your order here. Starting in September, we'll be providing more frequent updates when your loot will be packed and shipped. Now, like Hefty said, for anyone who's been following my, I guess, escapade with Loot Crate, I got an email back in saying it was going to be shipped to me on August 28th, I think. And
Yeah,
then
that sounds about
then
right.
it said that it was shipping in September, like early September. And then they said, like, late September. Now they're saying October.
I was gonna say, if you go when you were saying you can check the status of your order, I was like, if you check it right now, I bet you it says like expected ship date January. Now it's like, oh, come on. And you know what's gonna be super disappointing, dude? I feel is when you get this, it's gonna be there's nothing in it that is gonna be. You're just gonna be like,
I'm just going to be like, oh, well,
this
okay.
is so unsatisfying.
Especially with all this build-up now.
Well, that's what I'm
Certain
saying, and just
anticipation.
and the bad taste I think that the company has left in not just his mouth, but in most of their customer base mouth. They're just
I
like,
had to use some
Surprised Loot
scope.
Crate's even as big as it is.
it's
honestly.
they got apparently what he was saying is they got bought out and acquired additional funding, and I'm like, you guys just declared bankruptcy. Like, what is going on? Like, that's like if Chernobyl was like, hey, we rebranded. It's like, yeah, but you're still those guys.
Still those people
There's
that
still a lot of animals and wildlife and flora and fauna that are still pretty. Mother Nature's fucking pissed with you still. Like, let's just get that out of the way.
It's all in the past, man. People change.
People change. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I guess they do. People can change. I agree with that. For the worse or for the better, people do change.
And their clothes, dude. They changed that as well.
Most people. I am literally still wearing the same clothes from yesterday, except for the shirt, because I'm a bum. And I'm off today, so I really don't care. Sorry, back to Popeyes for just a second. I really wanted to talk about this one because I thought this one was funny. And I think I sent Mike the link to it too. So this is from NBCnews.com. And there's a gentleman named Craig Barr in Tennessee that is suing Popeyes for being... Yeah, you heard about that? Okay. So he's suing Popeyes for false advertising and deceptive business practices by entity to public, for them basically not having the chicken sandwiches. Again, it's a sandwich. Now, since this, I've seen other things where, like, armed dudes have threatened Popeyes employees. Like, no shit. Like, I'm like, it's a sandwich, dude. Here's what you do. You get yourself some chicken, right? You know? But so this guy, he's seeking $5,000 in damages. So the he's and this is the best part. He's representing himself. He doesn't have a lawyer. He's his own lawyer. Tennessee guy, repping himself.
Hats off.
Dude, I'm saying, and it's like the old adage. It's like the man who represents himself has a fool for a client. But this gets even better. He also said in court documents that he was hustled out of $25. I'm doing air quotes right now. Hustled out of $25 by a friend of a man who allegedly claimed in a Craigslist advertisement that he worked at a Popeyes location and could get sandwiches the restaurant was hiding. So as soon as I read this, I started thinking about the Nintendo, the mini Nintendo. You know what I'm saying? Like places were like, GameStop were hiding. And then bundling in these mini Nintendos with all these other crap things, but they had them. They just weren't selling them. So I immediately thought of the mini Nintendo situation. Now, I'm obviously a fat guy correlating video games and, food in my head because that's what I do.
Dude, that's like the best combination ever.
Thank you. That's why we look like we do and Mike looks like he does.
Yeah.
For now. You wait till you get older, buddy. You'll plump out, I promise.
Yeah, I'm just going to start drinking more beer all the time.
That's the best way to do it, buddy.
Apparently I'm going to just stock up on Popeye chicken sandwiches.
Well, if you can. So here's the great part. So not only was he seeking $25, he was hustling out money for that. So now... He also says that he suffered rim and tire damage totaling $1,500 while driving from location to location and was humiliated when his friends laughed at him. So he's seeking like punitive damages in this too, like emotional distress. He's like, I feel that like he should be suing himself for this. Like if you thought people were laughing at you because you couldn't get a sandwich, like I guess who does that? It's like, you can't eat. But it's like, if you're doing this, how many people do you think are laughing at you doing this? As opposed to people who just like, maybe a handful of people knew you couldn't get a sandwich. Now the whole world is like, wow, this guy's...
He has to represent himself if he's only going for $5,000.
Yeah, obviously. But I mean, he's going up against a multi-million-dollar corporation.
Exactly.
It's like a team of lawyers. He's like, I say, Governor. What? Governor? It's like, I don't know where I'm from. Oh, okay.
That's my spirit animal right there.
But it's great. I want to keep up on this because I want to find out how this turns out. But I'll tell you what, Craig, if you can pull this off, Mr. Barr, I will tip my hat to you, sir, and you owe me a couple chickens. You owe the crew here a few chicken sandwiches. Because I'm assuming you will take your payment in form of chicken sandwiches. And $5,000 can buy you a lot of chicken sandwiches, probably. But we want in on that. So good luck to you, buddy. This is going to be fun to follow.
He's got my back.
I got your back, buddy. I got your back, man. And if you can do it, you will absolutely prove inarguably that this judicial system is just broken. Just absolutely broken. It's like, we here find the defendant Popeye guilty. It's like, wow, really? That was pretty good. I wonder if he has to give himself...
Was that the Colonel?
Yeah, I don't know. I was trying to do like a Louisiana kind of guy, but whatever. And I wonder if he has to cut himself in on that, too. Like, does he take a portion of that $5,000 since he's repping himself? Or does he work, like, for himself, like, pro bono? Or...
Well, if he's not paying a lawyer or anything, he's just putting that in his pocket, I guess.
He had to write to Popeyes. Lucky bastard.
Dude, I'm so backing this guy up. He's got my full back. That's awesome.
That's crazy.
Fight the power.
I've never in my life.
Part that you can edit out because I just really have to ask.
Sure.
Where did you get that little sister on board?
Where I got most of the cool stuff that's in here.
Where did you get that?
PAX.
Isn't that cool?
That's awesome.
I've had that for many years. We can keep that in. That's no big deal. I appreciate you. Appreciate my stuff. You see the Necronomicon right behind you there? In the middle there? It's like latex over a cigar box.
Really like that sign.
Thanks, man. It's my collection right there. Got a few movies.
Oh, you got Gumby?
I do. There was even a Pokey bendable action figure in there. But I gave that to my brother. Yeah, I got a lot of neat stuff. Yeah, thank you. It was really cool. Yeah, Tumbles gave me most of the cool stuff I have, to be honest with you.
You.
That's right, Tumbles. Raise the roof. You earned it, little buddy.
It's probably worth a pretty penny.
You think so?
Probably.
I think
from
if
PAX.
if it's a sign from PAX and if you have it for a few
I
years.
just checked Amazon. You can't find them on Amazon.
Neat.
I'm gonna call it up on eBay.
Yeah, absolutely. I'd be interested to know. But in the meanwhile, let's see what else you got, Tums. I know there's one big thing we're talking about that I'm just waiting to get to.
Walgreens and Walmart.
Oh yes.
Yeah. Apparently they have decided to band together to become anti-gun because of the shooting in Texas. And Walmart, I feel like the only reason Walmart is doing this is because they, air quotes, attempted to remove all the M-rated games off the shelf temporarily because of the shooting.
And then they realized that video games don't kill people, guns kill people.
Well, I think it's really funny that, like, you know, if they're becoming into gun, you can buy a shotgun.
Yeah.
You can buy a rifle.
Yep.
Like, I mean, I said to my mom the other day, I'm like, welcome to Walmart, the only place where you can buy a shotgun, tires, and frozen
And
shrimp
dinner,
all in the same place.
Yep. Need new clothes? Come on this way.
Need a shotgun? We got you.
You want to see the hundreds of emaciated, dead Chinese kids that made all this shit for pennies a month? Here's some pictures. Walmart is a terrible company.
Here you go.
Walmart is a terrible company.
Here's a picture.
Speaking, what a great segue. Speaking of terrible
Hell
companies,
yeah.
here, I know everybody's excited for this one. Mikey, what do you think we're going to talk about next?
I think we're gonna mention GameStop.
I think we are. What do you think, Thomas? Are we going to mention GameStop?
Hell yeah.
All right.
Power to the players.
I'm sitting back and letting you two just do it.
Players. All right, so GameStop. Wow. Just when you thought it was safe to be a stockholder. Well, let's be honest, that hasn't been for quite a while now. You know, safe being a GameStop stockholder. But I'm assuming everybody did watch the video here. Okay, so there is a very... there's a guy out there on YouTube. Absolutely subscribe to this guy's channel. He is hilarious. He's informative. And he's been pretty fucking right on with all the stuff so far. As everybody knows what I'm going to mention. It's Camelot331 on YouTube. He's a great dude. Cody, super shout out to you, buddy. So what is happening is GameStop is going to be heading into Phase 3 now. Which for everybody out there who doesn't know... check out Camelot's videos because he does a more comprehensive job on this than I will be able to. But to surmise everything, Phase 1 for GameStop trying to basically fix themselves or dig themselves out of this. There ain't no getting out of this Mariana Trench they're in. But in order to try to help the business, Phase 1 was they nixed a ton of like district leaders and regional leaders. And kind of smushed together a lot of the districts to consolidate and cut back on monies. Phase 2 was they got rid of half of the corporate office, but they also got rid of half of Game Informer's staff, which honestly was the only reason I still had my power card, which I think has expired, but I really don't give a shit, because by this time next year, there will be no company around to use it.
Expired from like July.
I don't care. Was for the magazine. And, like, is that even still going to be happening? I mean, there's got to be, 8 people left working on the magazine? So that sucks. So that was Phase 2. Now, Phase 3, here's the crazy part.
Phase 3.
So Phase 3, they're going to be turning several stores apparently, allegedly, I'm just going to say allegedly until this all goes down, but they're allegedly going to be turning stores into some stores into tabletop gaming stores, and some into retro stores. But at conference, apparently, this came out after the other information, the district leaders, it seems, have to make lists of all the people they feel are, in the wording that I heard, talented enough to keep around after they assumedly start shutting down stores, because what is allegedly happening by the end of fourth quarter, which I believe ends on January 31st, right? For GameStop.
I don't know the exact date on it.
It's something like...
sounds right.
Yeah, it sounds about right. I read that the other day. I think it was January 31st for the company, but they will be shutting down, and they own 4,400 stores nationwide. They're going to knock that down to about 2,000 stores nationwide. And to even further drive this home, and again, we're saying allegedly right now until it actually happens, but he's been right on with his information for phase 1 and 2, so assumably this is going to happen. That's what it was. So they ordered new terminals for every store. Okay, so, it's 4,400 terminals. They ordered 2,000 terminals. So, we'll see.
Written's kind of on the wall on that one.
Yeah, and you were there for a long time, Mike. I was only there like a month or something.
I was there for about 3 years.
And how?
Damn.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's
and I'm
insane.
sure you have interesting tales you could probably regale us with.
For customer base and everything, yeah, absolutely. But as far as the store level management and everything went, it was great. I'd never, hearing all the stories online and everything, I definitely see how that could happen.
But it was never at our GameStop,
it was never
which
at
I
our
always
store.
said.
It was never at our store, because Chris knew what he was doing.
He did.
He's a good dude.
He is a very good
I just
dude.
really hope that he either finds a place that treats him right, or he's not one of the ones that get screwed over.
I really believe in my heart of hearts that I would like to think that Chris has put so much into this that they'll keep him.
If it's true that the district leaders have to do lists and stuff, which I can absolutely see GameStop making their management do. But if he has to do that, I know Chris is absolutely on that list. There's no way that he's not.
Yeah, he's great. I mean, they were prestige stores for the longest at the one that we used to work at. And that's the other thing I feel bad too is specifically Chris put, dude, how many decades into this? And even when he wasn't at GameStop, he was doing it at Babbage's and stuff like that. So he's been in the business for a very long time.
I think he's 17, 18 years? I think it was something like that.
He had hair back in the day. When he was
Wow.
doing this, yeah.
When he had hair.
I saw a picture of Chris with hair.
Really?
It's the rarest thing in the world.
Wow.
Yeah. It was amazing.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
I feel like he had
Chris is bald. We're just going to call it out.
Yeah, Chris is bald. But I'll tell you what, he has been consistently the same level of bald since I've known the guy. There's never been any stubble on his head. And kudos to you, Chris, if you're listening, because you're probably squinting and laughing and going to bust somebody's chops about this. But if you are listening, thanks. But we love you. Yeah, and I always worry about Chris. Chris would always, I hope, again, that he can find...
Anytime I hear news about GameStop or anything, it's I honestly, there's a few people that I don't want to get screwed over, but I always think back on Chris. He's a great dude. I don't want him to get screwed over.
No, me neither. And
Yeah, no, that would suck.
yeah, we all here love Chris, and but it's one of those things where it's you love the people, but you hate the company. You know what I mean? Because we've kind of we love GameStop, but we hate the company. We hate the business practices. Yep. We hate just everything from the upper echelons of corporate to, in a lot of cases probably the dregs. The ones who shall remain nameless for anonymity's sake here. But we both know who we're talking about, Air Force guy.
Good dude.
Yeah, great dude.
The best, honestly.
Awesome.
Air Force guy.
Do you have any particularly interesting memories about any customers that came out and gave you a particularly hard time, or was there anything that really stands out that kind of...
Yeah, absolutely. It was right before I left for like 2 months there for the other job. There's a customer in that didn't have like any wires or anything for his PS3, and we, because I was in the back at the time, and I think it was Zach who was working, and he was like, "This guy's giving me a hard time. Can you come out here?" So I go out there, and the guy's just like throwing a huge fit in the line and like cursing at us and stuff. It's just, I'll never forget that customer.
Because he didn't have the wires.
Because he didn't have the wires and he couldn't trade it in. He was throwing a fit. And
Wow.
He was just like, I was gonna buy 3 systems, and GameStop's awful, and like flying off the handle. It's like I'll never forget that customer.
And I don't understand why people are like that. I mean, my best guess is these are people that have no control over anything in their lives.
Yeah.
And are just so miserable about that fact that they, when they take it out, you're like, aha, I have bested somebody. I'm not such a shithead now. It's like, no, sir, in fact, you're a bigger shithead now. You know? And, you know, we've all had stories. I mean, I used to work with Tumbles at this other place, and I tell you stories from that place. But you're in retail, you're going to deal with a lot of just inconsiderate jerks.
You know, you used to beat me up with the garbage cans.
That's true. We also bubble wrapped you at one point.
Yep.
And we pushed you down.
Yep.
And I think we kicked you.
Yep.
Yeah, good times. And he stuck around.
There's one customer I also will never forget. It wasn't a bad experience. It was just too good to be true. But this dude was trading in. I think it was a PS3 too, and it was this dad and his kid. His kid was probably like 12, 13 years old or something.
Okay.
And I was testing the system, and the dad was just walking around the store and stuff. And there was a disc in the system, so I go to take the disc out, and it was a porn video.
No!
I'll never forget it.
Did you keep it?
No, I took it out, and I just kind of slid it across the table to the kid, because the dad wasn't there.
Oh, it was the kids, not the dads.
No, it 100% was that, because how was a 13-year-old going to get porn? But it had...
Yeah, why would you be watching it in a DVD and not on the internet?
Exactly.
Yeah, that was the dad.
So it was 100% the dad's.
Dude, but that's weird. Like, so that means the dad was watching porn on his son's system, which is assumably in his kid's room.
I thought, in my head, the story was that this kid found it and went to his room to watch it and put it into the system.
Oh, yeah, mine was much more dark. What the hell?
Easily could have been the dad just...
That's... No, I think so I can sleep at night, we're going to go with yours. That's way less creepy. That's... Wow. I'll tell you, that happened to me when I worked at Hollywood Video. I can say that now because the company's fucking defunct. Rotten hell. No, I can't say that. That was actually one of the coolest jobs I ever had. The coolest job I ever had was a movie projectionist. Well, that's a tale for another time. I had a lot of fun doing that. But I was working at Hollywood Video, and we closed one night, and it was in with the Dropbox returns, and it was a fucking porno tape. And it was funny because it was like me and a couple other people took the porn and like went home and made copies of it, and like so it made the rounds, and then eventually made its way back to the store. And then I think it was 3 days subsequent to that, the guy came back and was like, "Oh, you know, I think I put the wrong tape in the thing, you know what I mean, wink wink." And I'm just like, "Oh yeah, you're the perv. Here you go, buddy." I didn't say that because it was just, but I was like, I just wanted to be like, "Yes, sir, here's your porn back," you know, for the whole store.
No, that actually happened to me too.
Get out of here. You've never worked in a video store.
Well, no.
All right, hold on. I gotta hear this.
I was at I was at this video game store in a mall. No, not GameStop. And
shopping at other places in games.
Damn.
Expensive.
Get him, GameStop.
Oh my god, I refuse to go back there.
Oh,
And,
I know where you were.
Yeah.
Does it start with a J?
Yeah. So,
I don't like them enough to plug them, so I'm not gonna.
I had a bunch of video games that I was given by Frank. You know who that is?
Oh God!
He had
Frank, you bastard!
he had like 20 PS1 games. He was just like, "Hey, He's like, I don't want these anymore, and he gave them to me. So I was just like, okay, I don't want them, so I'm gonna trade in and see what I can get. So the employee is behind the counter. He's just opening screen, making sure that it's not scratched in the back. And I hit him the one. And he just grabs it and he opens it, and I'm looking at it, and I'm like, that ain't the game.
Are you trying to blame a dead guy for you returning your porn accidentally? Are you trying to push this off on a dead guy?
A dead guy?
Yeah, Frank's dead, dude.
No, he's not.
Ah, Frank?
What?
That from Sorrentino's, Frank? Oh, Frank, your dad's friend, Frank.
Yeah.
I thought you meant Frank from Tino's.
No.
Oh, well, wow.
That part out.
No, I'm keeping that. I have to wear my shame on that one.
And
Just to remind me.
he takes the disc out and he flips it over to look at the back of it, and I'm just like, that is not the game. And he looks at me and he's like, hentai screaming. He's like, I don't think that this is the game, bud. And I looked at him and I was like, yeah, no, let's just, can we say it louder to all the mom and the children that are in here too? Can you say that louder? And I'm just like, yeah, no, it's not. And he's like, well, you want the disc back? And I was like, no.
Like, what do you give me for it? Like, hold on. Let's talk here. Everything's up for sale. Everything has its price.
What are you personally going to give me for it?
He's like, I'll give you $10.
So...
And a butter bean. I don't want to know what that is. Please don't give me
No, I don't want to know what that is either. That is... Oh, man. Oh, my God.
I never really... working at GameStop, because we're bouncing back and forth on topics like a handball in prison, but we're... that was a weird analogy, but...
It was weird.
It's weird. I don't know why. I never had, any crazy... And I've said this in a previous podcast. Thank Christ I didn't have to put up with the Christmas crowd or the holiday crowd or anything like that, because I probably would have seen many more of those customers and probably would have killed one or all of those customers.
Why are all of them just walking?
I'd show back up to Primal, just covered in blood.
I didn't know the gun was loaded.
I didn't know. Damn it. I was just like, can I have my job back, please? They're just like, I'll be like, I'll put it to you this way. If you don't give me my job back, you're going to add to this. You're going to add to the mess. But yeah, I didn't have any particularly, crazy customers or really, memorable ones. Some smelly ones, for sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Some smelly ones. And, man, you see some people... The way some...
Ones?
Yeah, there's a lot of smelly, weird people that come into GameStop. There's a lot of smelly, weird people in this world. They don't just congregate. We all know what kind they are. We know what we're talking about. I mean, peoples is peoples, but take a shower for reals. Met a couple of furries.
Yeah, there's...
What?
There's only one that I distinctly remember.
It was the tall gentleman and the short chick.
The very... Yeah.
The interesting ones.
Should have sent the short chick my
They're
way.
getting married. No.
Okay. Alright, I trust you.
I don't care what you're into, but just not furries, please. Just not that.
You don't want to know what he did with the hand before you got here, bro. You might want to file a paternity suit. But yeah, no, very interesting people you meet there. And, the one thing that I found... real quick, is you wouldn't believe some of the... you would believe. The way people treat their electronic equipment. You know what I mean? Their systems... you see some of the most busted-ass systems come through that place.
I never understood... even if I wasn't, as much of a gamer as I am, if you're buying a system, it sits on a shelf under your TV, like most people, that's what it does.
Well, mine at least has ventilation, because I really don't have room.
You keep it on a desk.
And I have compressed air that I, every day, I,
it's
take care of it.
And then, it's not even that, mine just sits on a shelf under my TV, and, I'll dust it when I'm, dusting and cleaning my room and stuff, but it's not like I ever get into the ventilation or anything like that. But it's some people that bring in their systems is just an inch of dust on it, and it looks like it just... It's they threw it in the corner of a room and haven't touched it in years.
And
console
that smell.
abuse, man.
Some of them have that moldy smell as soon as you turn on the vents and stuff. Oh.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah, dude. Some people just do not take care of their stuff, and they want top dollar for it. It's like, yeah, you're gonna get about 70. I'll tell you what. Here's $5. Take it home. Like, I don't want it.
Most I can do is 3.
And that's store credit. Cash is gonna be about a quarter.
You know, for the longest time, I actually never understood that about GameStop.
What's that?
How, like, you could walk in there with, I mean, actually, so I knew someone who went into a GameStop and got a penny for in-store credit for a game they had. And I was like, wow. I would have just handed them the game instead of throw it out.
Mike has actually done that for me on several games that I've brought in. He's just like...
There's always people that bring this stuff in there, just like, oh, you can just throw it out. It's like, okay.
Alright, I don't mind. Now, did you ever find there were any issues with, like, dumpster? I mean, granted, I was lucky enough to know you guys, and I got a lot of the cool stuff that you guys didn't end up throwing away. But, you know, you always see those things online, or, well, you used to more so, of people doing, like, dumpster diving at GameStop. But we didn't have our own dedicated dumpster. Right?
I know that it was in the district, I forget which store it was exactly, but there was a woman who was taking the trash out, and then there was a guy in the dumpster and scared her. So...
Did he get any cool come-ups, or what?
I have no idea. That was the end of the story.
Probably got to put a nice pair of shiny bracelets.
It's like we never throw out anything that's like really salvageable though. So at least from what I've experienced.
Yeah, me too. Well, which is, and again, like cool advertising stuff usually ends up here.
It's like, yeah, any advertisement stuff. It's like if we're taking down the signs and people.
No, you guys, and I'll tell you, that was the one thing that I every time I filled out that damn survey. Every time. And I did it before I worked there because I liked you guys, but then when I worked there, because that is super important, and it's like ridiculous if they're like on you if you don't hit your numbers and everything. But I always would give you guys the best possible thing just because I love you guys. And then when I worked there, I realized how much it means. So then it was just like I got a lot more consistent with it and everything. But we were lucky because we had friends that worked there, you know what I mean? And you guys are right there in the same mall that we are. That's how we met, you know. And I'm sure we had crossed paths before me going into GameStop, but I'm infrequent with it.
I definitely owe a lot of my current friendships just from GameStop alone.
Which is actually a pretty cool, if you think about it, not a bad takeaway from the experience.
No, actually, besides like 3 people, yeah, like basically everybody I talk to now is just people I met through GameStop. Like
even this guy? Is that what? Because you knew Tumbles before I knew you knew Tumbles, right? Like you recognized him, right?
I want to say I did, just as being a customer and stuff, but it wasn't until I met you that like started hanging out and stuff, started talking.
He's an okay guy, this guy.
He's alright. He's over here sipping.
He is. He's rocking on that strawberry culotta. Good for you. Oh, Mikey, special shout out. I know I'm drinking a beer right now, but special much love for the coffee, man. Thank you. That's what's up. I still have hash browns over there too. This is gonna be a good day. Already had a couple gummies and a square of a chocolate bar. Thank you, Eddie. Love you, buddy. So that's nice. Game and I'm gonna. Oh. We're going to go back to GameStop again for a second, but I love the Twitter thing. I think me and Tumbles were talking about this, where somebody had wrote to the GameStop Twitter. It was like, I can't wait for the day that GameStop goes out of business. And their reply was, hope you packed a lunch, my dude, because it's going to be a long wait.
No, it's not.
And I'm sitting there, I'm like, I got a Snickers bar I could probably finish before you guys go under.
You guys are kind of already going under, so
maybe.
You know.
Do you think there's anything, and this question is posed to both of you, do you think there's anything that GameStop can conceivably do besides just turn tail and run to save the company?
They're doing a lot with getting into like esports and everything. I know that they have a new facility. I forget where it is, but they're just trying to get into that game. So I can see them being a sponsor and stuff, maybe hosting some tournaments. But other than that, I really don't think that as a storefront. I don't think they have.
Do you think people that go in and do the esports things will be purchasing stuff, or will they be in there specifically just for the?
No, I just think that because I just assume that GameStop's gonna have its own like league at some point, like some team that
like its own publishing company.
Yeah, like its own like esports kind of thing. But I think that's all it's gonna be. It's gonna be like a digital kind of thing. It's not gonna be storefronts anymore. They're just gonna kind of focus more on
Yeah, and don't turn the stores into tabletop stores. That's stupid. The second they do that I'm just like, I'm done at GameStop.
So they closed half the stores and stuff, and they only have 2,000 left, and then they changed those into tabletop gaming and stuff. It's like the areas you'd have to do that in order for that to be successful. Like, this any place around here, it's like we have mom and pop shops that people go to do that kind of thing. I just can't see that base.
Flight and Fantasy.
Yeah.
I'm specifically going to reference because I love those guys down on, I think it's on Wolf Road.
It's like
Flight and Fantasy.
Yeah, it's like you have your customer base. People go to the mom and pop shops to do tabletop games, like play Magic and stuff.
And which was cool because we would buy stuff when we went in there at the little mom and pop type place. That's where I got all my D&D shit from. Was
it's like,
Flight
when
Fantasy.
I go to play Magic and stuff at like Flipside and stuff, it's like if I'm gonna go there, I don't see how the fan base there is going to flock over to a chain retail place to do those games.
Yeah, fuck that.
Like tabletop games, like I think that's just strictly going to stay in the mom and pop business.
I think so too.
I don't think it's going to.
It's darker there.
Yeah, it's darker. It's like it's more homely.
It is. You know what I mean? What about you, Tubbles? Do you think there's anything that they can conceivably do to put this dumpster fire out, or maybe to even just recoup maybe a little bit of their good name?
Yeah, no, there really is.
That loaded into the chamber.
They're pretty much, they're starting to bury themselves with the shovel.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then you'll just have, there'll still be video game stores. I
think GameStop will still, will have a few stores open here and there.
You think so?
For a while. Like in cities and stuff. It's like, once they actually bring in revenue, I don't think they're going to close all the stores. I don't think they're going to claim, bankruptcy or anything, just, with all the stores. It's going to be a large majority of the corporation, but they're going to have a couple stores open here.
Huh.
At least for a couple of years.
You're giving a couple of years?
I'm giving GameStop as a whole company, between now and every store being shut down, I'm going to give a couple of years. I think that seems more reasonable. Then again, if Phase 3, if it screws them over a lot, then that's going to be it for the company. But.
Yeah, I don't see it making that out of 2020.
I really don't either. They'll definitely make it to 2020.
Well, definitely.
Maybe I'll give them to the holiday season of next year. But I honestly don't think, and I hope I'm wrong, just for the simple fact that I don't want Chris to lose his job.
Yeah.
I'll be selfish. I don't want Chris. Well, that's not selfish. Hoping Chris doesn't lose his job.
Yeah.
But I just hope that, I hope I'm wrong, but in all probability, and again, Camelot was saying, look how far we've come in the past, couple months from, phase 1, really, and that's snowballed like that. And,
Yeah, maybe I should change my answer.
Well, because because I'll tell you why. When I first started watching this stuff a couple months ago, I was like, I give him 3 years. And I think that's when we were talking, and Chris I forget who told me, but Chris was giving him a decade. And I'm like, that seems highly unlikely that they'll still be around for 10 years. And now fast forward to where we are today, and we're like, oh.
Well, they did what Hot Topic did, and it's instead of just selling music and everything, it's Hot Topic now, it's a knick-knack store and some cool collectibles and stuff like that. But that's what GameStop tried to do, the whole Think Geek thing. That didn't work out, so now, yeah. You actually bring up
which sucked because I liked Think Geek. They had some cool stuff there. That was a go-to for Christmas gifts.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It was sweet. Most people I know are gamers. That's an easy place to go to score something really awesome. And they always had this one. It was the little worm from the labyrinth. She'd gone that way. She'd have gone straight to the castle. I always wanted it, and I never got it because it was expensive. But it's the worm that got away. His tale is old as time.
The worm that got away.
Yep, sad. Let's see. I was glad I was wrong about the Kevin Hart thing. I'm glad he's okay. I'm glad he's not paralyzed.
I didn't even know anything about the Kevin Hart thing. I don't know what happened.
He crashed his car.
It was a pretty bad crash, too.
It was a pretty bad crash. It was on Mulholland, I believe.
Yeah, plays in Beverly Hills or some shit.
Yeah. But he's okay, so that's good. Well, that is to say he's not a quadriplegic.
He's expected to make a full recovery. But,
thanks. We'll get that in editing.
Yeah, we'll cover that one. But I never cared for Kevin Hart to begin with, to be honest.
I really didn't, and anybody that knows Kevin Hart can back me up on this. Well, knows of Kevin Hart. Nobody thinks Kevin Hart is funnier than Kevin Hart does.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I never thought he was funny.
I
don't
didn't
think
either.
he's
He thought he was funny enough for everybody, so I'm like, I'll let him go now. But then when I heard about that, I was like, dude, I don't want anything bad to happen.
No,
I was like,
yeah.
I wasn't like,
You're like,
oh
shit.
fucking thank God. Oh, I felt bad for the guy, you know. I was like, oh geez, even though I don't like his style of whatever, I was like, he's still a person. That sucks. But super glad that he's gonna make a full recovery. There we go.
respect his hustle.
Right, respect his hustle.
Yeah, I never really liked Kevin Hart. Wasn't much of a fan of him.
There's quite a few actors I just think are too big. That like I don't see the appeal to them.
Okay.
It's like Chris Pratt, for instance. Everybody loves Chris Pratt.
I hate him.
I
I
stand
hate
Chris
Pratt so
I hate
much.
I like Chris Pratt. I think he's funny. Well, the first thing I saw him on was Parks and Rec, and that was before, or maybe it was during, while he was getting famous as
Guardians of the Galaxy.
yeah, with
Star
Guardians. Which I'm super glad James Gunn is back on now, because you know Disney was like, "Whoops,
Wars. Whoopsie.
thank you."
I'm just so excited to see where all the Marvel stuff goes with Disney after this. Because like if what bothers me the most is like the ending to Endgame and everything with Iron Man's arc. It was so oriented around Spider-Man and the character from the movies, and now Spider-Man's just gone. It has no his Iron Man story has no weight now. It's just.
I was really disappointed, and especially, well, I guess it was more so with the Spider-Man debacle that happened, because the way they ended Home, was that the most recent one?
Far From Home.
Far From Home. I always want to say Homecoming for some reason. It's like going to prom or something. Excuse me. Was the ending. And, you know, especially where he, like,
so
doxes
good.
him on the big screen, I'm like, what are you going to do with that now? Nothing? Oh, that's cool.
It's like I've read all the comics. I have a huge collection. I love Spider-Man to death. My favorite character in all of literature ever. And just seeing what the MCU did with Spider-Man, it's not Spider-Man. It's not the same character. I get what they're doing with the movie universe, and it makes sense to have him in that field, but it just wasn't the actual character, like writing wise. Tom Holland does a great job. It just wasn't like the writing wasn't for the character. And I think the end of Far From Home was going to start the story of like an actual Spider-Man tale, like actually being the character he is and not like relying on Iron Man or anybody else or anything like that. But now it's just
The worm that got away.
yeah, the worm that got away.
Tale as old as time. That sucks. That really does suck, because I very much enjoyed that. I very much enjoyed that movie, and I'm not a big superhero movie guy. I've seen an awful lot of them, because, you know, Tui and Eddie are huge into them.
Well, Mysterio's my favorite villain. Jake Gyllenhaal's my favorite actor.
It took me like a half hour
so good.
into seeing him to be like, oh my god, it's Donnie Darko. Yeah. I'm like, wait a minute, it literally took me like a half hour. I'm like, is that Jake Gyllenhaal? And Tui's like, yeah, and I'm like, oops. Well, I'm not so
Please
Such
say
a
you
good
can
actor.
agree with me that there's one scene from Spider-Man I just cannot stand, and that's what the hell you were telling me. It was like he was like dancing.
Oh, the walking, yeah, it's the
I was like,
cringiest shit in the world. Where he's like walking down
Dawn.
the street to the
Spider-Man
music.
3?
That
Yeah.
entire that made me hate Spider-Man altogether.
It was they did
I
a
hate
video where it
everything
was like him
Spider-Man.
doing that but without music. And it's like super funny, because it's like that's how it would be in real life. You wouldn't have the music going and be dancing; it'd just be some weird guy undulating down the road.
It's like the original trilogy for Spider-Man are the best superhero movies. I don't care what anybody says. I fucking love those movies.
Wow.
But the first two.
We'll include his personal information in the comments down below, guys, on the description of the video. You can stalk him if you'd like.
Spider-Man
home
2 is the
address.
best superhero movie ever.
His number's 518.
But the first two movies of the Raimi trilogy, they started off with, obviously it couldn't happen, but they started off with like less comic booky villains, like Green Goblin.
Like Green Goblin, yeah.
Yeah, it's like because they had like technology and stuff that made them that, and then they just jumped immediately into Sandman and Venom, which, like, those are just completely different playing field. It's like you have actual superpowers versus the.
I like the one that had Jamie Foxx in it. Jamie Foxx.
I'm gonna edit that out.
Nope, keeping that one. I gotta wear my shame, baby. That's crazy. So,
but that also brings up they're making for Disney Plus. They're making a Moon Knight series, which is my third favorite superhero, which no one knows about. It's a great character, but they're finally giving him his own show, and they want Andrew Garfield. It was rumored that Andrew Garfield was being eyed for the actor position on it. I just thought that was kind of funny. It's like your take, because the rumor came right after the Sony Disney split.
Oh, really?
So I just thought that was like Disney being kind of petty.
Oh, that's kind of messed up.
It's a great choice. Don't get me wrong. Like, he's a good actor. Just the writing for the Amazing Spider-Man movies were just awful. Just didn't do him justice. But he's a good actor himself.
Now, would that be something you would actually sub to Disney Plus to watch?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I already plan on buying it.
Do you really?
Yeah.
You're gonna pump some more money into Disney's pocket?
Pump some more money into Disney's pocket.
Wow.
I think it made horrible with Batman.
So word has it you have some art coming for the channel.
Yes. I do the art for HefTV. Subscribe.
Yeah,
YouTube.com/
Lordhefty.
Lordhefty. That's right.
Nice. I was like, oh, what's he got there? Appreciate the plug. No, not necessary, but always appreciated.
And it's funny, we don't even have to pay you.
Yeah, we don't have to pay you. That's the best part, man. And
I'm still waiting for my $1.25.
Yeah, that's my crazy, and I don't have a problem shouting my numbers out there. Were I to be monetized, I'd be making every year a cool $3 to $43 a year.
Ooh. Wait, so $1.50? I got a raise.
Well, that depends. It depends on how much I don't make this year. So, chances are I'll just put the same amount in your stocking that I did last year, and we'll call it a day.
There's a lump of coal in my stocking.
There, and you know what? Double it this year. You've been a good boy.
2 pieces, yeah.
Plus, with the price of gas, man, coal's probably not a bad gift anymore. It's a terrible joke. But no, we very much appreciate everything that you do for the channel.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Well, I appreciate you, man. Thank you. You're very talented, and you guys check out the channel in October, because not only do I have a lot of cool stuff coming, but you'll be able to see Mikey's art. We're gonna do it for the podcasts.
I can't wait, because Hefty showed me some of the artwork. Oh my god. And everybody I've showed is like, wait, Mike did that? And I'm like, yeah. They're like, oh. They had no idea how talented you were. Yeah, I didn't know that you were, I knew you were talented, but I saw those and I'm like, man, good for you.
So it's only been the past couple of years I started.
And that's what you go to school for? Or that's what you went to school for?
I go to school for modeling. So a little bit for the design, but it's mostly just 3D modeling.
And I hear you're also working on very diligently and hard on a game.
Yes, I put many blood, sweat, and tear hours into my game that I will have a release date for in a few years.
Awesome.
We're gonna have to at the end of this. You're gonna have to tell me all about it.
Well, why don't you go ahead and talk about it right now, Mikey? Unless you don't want to talk about it.
It's a game called Craig's Creamy Adventure.
Oh yeah.
You play as Craig the Creamsicle. You get thrown out, and the goal is to make it back to a freezer at the end of each level.
Wait, a freezer or
a freezer, so that way you don't melt.
This is very true.
Dude.
There we go. That's Craig.
It's Craig the Creamsicle.
That's Craig the Creamsicle. Yeah, that's right. I think, or whatever else his voice is gonna be. I forgot what it was.
That's it.
I think it was just like this. Yeah.
It's an adorable creamsicle. That's gonna have.
That's right. I'm gonna have this kind of voice. Yeah. Yours truly is gonna do a voice.
Damn,
but I love the antagonist. Right? Is like a bald guy. Right? Isn't that what it was? Like we're gonna do.
The bald guy is what this old hunched over bald man is doing some spring cleaning, throws out the creamsicle. Creamsicle has to make its way back.
It's Chris. Chris is the bald old guy.
Inspiration, that's what he is.
But it's funny, and I'm really excited when this finally comes to fruition. I can't wait to see this, and let alone be a part of it. I can't wait.
Just give me like 8-9 years.
Yeah, I got that much left in me. Sure. Well, since we're dreaming, I also am going to win the lottery tonight. Yeah, that's cool, man. And you do good work, man. You really do.
Appreciate it.
I can't wait to see. I'm very intrigued to see the color, but also the one that we were talking about that you're gonna do in like the pinhead one.
Pinhead one.
That I'm very excited for. I might even put that on a shirt. We'll talk merchandise.
I made a Redbubble account actually. So I can
Did you?
throw some stuff on a shirt? Yeah, just for the hell of it.
Do you want to you want to pimp that at all? Is
Well,
there
I don't
you want
have
to pimp anything?
I
Or
don't have
something?
anything on it. Yeah, I just made the account. I even forgot what the name of it was. I'll have to look into that. So I should probably do that at some point.
It might be helpful. If we can, if Mikey will get back to me at some point on that, we'll include the links to all Mikey's social media stuff.
Do you feel like a boss fight would be like a candle?
No, the
Oh god.
the boss fight's going to be a. It was a lighter, like
a big lighter.
Yeah, just like a big lighter, because it's like spring cleaning. You get tossed out, and the lighter's just. I didn't think about the story of why the lighter wants to melt the.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's tale as old as time, man. The lighter versus the creamsicle.
Yeah.
I think that was an Aesop's fable. I'm pretty sure that was with the mouse and the lion.
I think I read about it in the Bible once actually.
Really? You
Yeah.
read the Bible, did you?
Yeah, all the time. I read it every
Cover
day.
to cover?
Cover to cover every day.
Wow.
My favorite book.
I've seen that.
Man,
That's dedication.
that is dedication. I certainly wouldn't do that.
Well, you got anything else you want to add there, Mr. Tumbles?
Sorry, I'm just gonna butt in again.
No, please, butt in away.
My Redbubble link is.
There we go.
The shower beers.
Nice.
Courtesy of HefTV for that name. It's also my band name for me and my buddy.
That's awesome.
So-
The shower
The
beers?
shower beers.
The shower beers, guys. Fucking, that's awesome. And one of the greatest things in the world. A shower beer.
Shower beer.
Everybody who hasn't had a shower beer and knows what a shower beer is, shame on you. It's when you drink a beer in the shower.
I didn't know what it was until a few months ago. So.
It's one of the greatest things on earth. Everybody
really
go
is.
out there, young and old, and go
This
have
is
a
the
beer in the
best.
shower.
I do. It's awesome. It's great. It's fantastic. Man and his scorpions.
The mayonnaise scorpions? Those sound awful.
Yeah, it's like so like if you open up like a a Miracle Whip thing, and if you leave it out too long, the male scorpions will start to crawl out of it. That's why.
Is that true?
That's why a lot of people don't see them when they open a mayo container, is because the mayo scorpions have already gotten out.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Are they poisonous?
No, they're not. They shoot mayo.
Well, that makes sense. They're mayo scorpions.
Yeah.
They're not going to be like,
Yeah.
you know.
So like their stinger, it's not actual venom. It's just.
It's just
mayo.
mayonnaise.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you get them mad enough, they'll dressing up your sandwich. Just flick them and then like shoot the mayonnaise on your bread. You're like, thank you.
All right.
Can I have some extra? Sure. Flick them around. They're like the hot dog cobras.
Dude, I actually have a backstory for the lighter, for the big lighter.
Okay.
It was since he said it was about spring cleaning, getting thrown out and stuff. It could have been like a big lighter that didn't have a lot of like.
Oh, that's funny. A lot of fluid left in it.
Fluid in, so he just thought, I'll just toss it out.
That's actually funny. We have one of those down on the table saw in the garage. That's actually pretty funny.
But like it could be like he wasn't thrown out because he has enough lighter fluid in him
To be useful.
to not be thrown out.
So Tumbles has come up with a kind of clever backstory, I think, for your lighter. Solve the lighter situation. Let him know.
There's not enough lighter fluid in it. Like there's just enough in the actual big lighter to not be thrown out, but like he doesn't have like nearly as much to be like put in like a pocket, and that's why he's so mad.
I mean, that's
Sure, it's something.
something.
It's something.
Hey, it made sense. I was like, because when you said it was like, that's why it had been thrown out, because it has like just a little bit of fluid left in it. And I'm like, I literally have one of those downstairs on the table saw in the garage. It's like one of those lighters that's like almost dead, but not.
That would explain why he's wherever Craig the Creamsicle is. Dude, I love
Break the
that name.
creamsicle and cuck the cupcake.
And Cup the Cupcake. I love it.
Cup the cup, dude. What is this story?
No, he's just an old moldy cupcake that
Yeah.
got thrown out.
Huh.
Yeah. And then he teams up with good old Craig,
Mm-hmm.
and that's where the co-op option's gonna come in. For
Mm-hmm. I'm really excited for this. Like, I can't wait to see this
Actually
game.
sounds
I
pretty
should probably work
dope.
on that some more.
I mean, it's gonna. All I'm thinking is like Super Meat Boy. You know what I mean? Like something along those lines.
Yeah, basically. Super Meat Boy and Cuphead was that game.
Cuphead, Mugman.
That was a good game. It's a hard game.
What's the game called again?
Craig's Creamy Adventure.
Craig's
forget that?
Creamy Adventure, dude. That's...
Sounds like the DVD that was left in the PlayStation 1 case.
Yeah, it does.
Well, you got anything else you wanna?
I got nothing.
Nothing? What about you, Mr. Mike? Anything you wanna talk about? Anything on the old Nagaruni?
Want to talk about it too, but you guys haven't seen it, so can't really.
Yeah, it's
discuss
true. You can give us your non-spoiler.
My non-spoiler review. It's not as good as the first one, but the effects and everything were much better in this one.
I think that was under 10 seconds.
That was my 10
You're
second-
hired.
Yeah, my 10-second
You're
movie
hired.
review is, it's not as memorable as the first one. Still a good movie, worth seeing. The ending, I was kind of displeased with.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go see it anyway. Me and Tui are gonna go check it out on Sunday.
It's not a spoiler, but because what was it? Bill is a writer, and he gets crapped on for like making bad endings for his books in the movie. So everyone's just like, "Oh, you don't know how to end a book and everything." But they said it right in the beginning of the movie, so the entire time I was just thinking, well, I'm like, "Oh, so is the ending of this going to be bad?"
And it was.
And it was.
Huh. All right. Well, that's.
I went to see it the other day, so I'll have to ask him what he thought.
That's you're literally the first thing I've heard about it. So that's interesting. I'm gonna go see it anywho, and then I'll.
Well, I hope you do because it's still a good movie. Don't
Oh,
get me
I
wrong.
will. I absolutely will.
It's still a good movie. It just I don't know. It just didn't stick with me as much as the first one did.
Jeez, that's disappointing. Well, the first one was really good.
The first one was amazing. Very, very good movie.
Oh, that guy in Tennessee, yeah.
Wins against Popeyes.
Yeah, I hope he does, man.
Oddly enough, his name is
I'm
Craig.
thinking about that. Like
a lot of Craigs on today.
Yeah, a lot of Craigs.
There's two, but that's a lot to me.
That's more than I know personally.
I only know one person named Craig.
You only know one Craig. Shout out to Craig.
Shout out to Craig.
Yeah.
Right on, dude. Like, it's all about it. All right. Well, unless anybody had anything craziness, I think we'll just cut it here.
Oh, there's got to be something that came out this week, right?
The first 26 minutes of gameplay of the Blair Witch was freaking amazing.
Yeah, heard a lot of bad things about that. Gonna wait till that goes on sale to pick that up. I got kind of burned on the last two games I bought willy-nilly without looking into it, being the Sunken City and Call of Cthulhu.
Isn't it like a $30 game?
Sunken City. So happy I didn't buy that game.
Isn't Blair Witch like a $30 game?
Yeah, I'm gonna wait till it goes on sale for like $10, $15.
Yeah,
Just get Man of Medan instead. All the people that made Until Dawn.
What's it for? Is it for Xbox?
I'm pretty sure this one's cross-platform.
Oh, maybe I will. I did like Until Dawn.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident in saying that it's a.
Gears 5 came out.
Oh, that's true. I forgot about that.
That's a big one. I'm not a Gears fan, but
I'm a huge Gears fan.
I know a couple people who are. He is one of them.
Hefty's even got a cog tag.
I do indeed. I keep it hidden behind the Irish stuff.
Just waiting for Outer Worlds.
For Outer Worlds.
Outer
Oh,
Worlds.
yeah.
Cannot wait for that game.
That's coming.
That looks
October
really good.
25th.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Oh, that's soon. I don't know if there's anything really. I'm excited. I'm excited to see the Final Fantasy VII remake.
Eventually.
Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that.
Really?
It's too far away. I've been waiting so long for this game.
Yeah. Yep.
Do you think it'll be worth the wait?
I really hope so.
I think a lot of people really hope so.
really hope it
Yeah,
is.
I was.
They just released new gameplay like a week ago on it.
I don't particularly find it at all interesting, so I'm just kind of like,
I was watching the gameplay and I'm like, this kind of, I mean, it's like kind of boring to watch, but I also think like Fallout's boring to watch, but I love playing.
Yeah, me too, yeah. Which, actually, we were talking about yesterday. He loves watching people play video games.
I love it.
He loves it. I never understood the allure. It's, like, boring to me watching, which is why, like, Mixer and Twitch, like, fascinates me. Because, like, people sit there and watch people play video games, and I'm like...
I thought that until probably about this year is, like, when I actually started, like, watching people play.
And I've tried. I'm just, like, I just want to go play a game now, and then I'll just...
It's like, I'll always watch, because I never play online games or anything, I'll
Yeah.
always watch people play, like, online games, just because I know I'm not gonna play or ever be that good. So it's just watching somebody else play them here and there.
Tumbles is real good at pretty much all video games. Playing Civilization one night, and went to bed, and I had just like gotten the game, and I was kind of like, I wasn't very good at it. I wake up the next, afternoon probably, and he had like already beaten the game or some shit. I'm like, what the hell? It was like, he had this like massive empire thing going on. I'm like, what? Okay. And it was just funny. He just always took to like games and stuff.
Same thing for Minecraft.
I was about to bring that up. I remember when I first started playing Minecraft, and Tumbles and I were here, and we smoked and played Minecraft, and it was like, I watched him just trounce stuff. He was like building stuff like nobody's business, and I'm like, ah. And then he built. I woke up like the next day, and he built this giant creeper. What was it? It was like a giant creeper statue, and I'm like, the thing is like 100 feet tall, and I'm like, how long have you been doing this for?
I hate the creative mode in Minecraft.
Really?
I only play survival.
Oh, really?
Damn.
Minecraft's a great game. If you're playing survival, playing creative and everything, I just get really bored really quick.
Well, it's because there's no real challenge, but it's
Yeah.
cool to like build stuff and then go to survival mode with it.
Yeah.
And then just so you have the pre-existing buildings and stuff like that, and then you can go around and have fun.
I have two questions to ask: Minecraft or Fortnite? Because HefTV asked me that question. I just saw a video on it.
If you had to delete one game, would it be Minecraft or Fortnite?
If I had to delete one,
Mhm.
right now it would probably be Fortnite.
That was pretty much
Minecraft or
I
PUBG?
haven't enjoyed Fortnite in
a hot minute.
Yeah.
Minecraft or PUBG?
I never liked PUBG to begin with.
I
Honestly.
thought you did.
Never big on it.
I never liked PUBG either.
Yeah,
I was
wasn't
huge
a
on
fan of it.
Fortnite for a while.
Were you?
Yeah, huge on it.
I sucked at it. I tried playing for like John Can 5188, special shout out John, on his channel one night, and I sucked. He like signed the controller over to me, and I'm like, dude, no, I'm gonna get you killed, bro. And
Yeah,
I got killed.
I liked it. I thought it was pretty decent at it. Just playing with your friends and everything, just like fucking around, was really fun. Now it's just not. Or now everybody who plays it has been playing it since it's come out, and no one's new to it. And
You play competitively.
yeah, so the only people that play it now are the people that play it competitively. It's just not fun anymore.
All of FaZe, like pretty much all of FaZe, they're huge in Fortnite. Now all MLG teams are starting to create Fortnite teams, and I'm just like,
Yeah, and it's
no.
like with esports and everything. It's like League of Legends and Fortnite are their own separate categories.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah.
It's like just because how big the following for them is. I know Overwatch was at that point, but Fortnite kind of took over.
I think
Overwatch's spot.
100 Thieves actually just did their Fortnite team yesterday and not the game the day before that. So all LG teams are just coming up with pro teams for those games now.
There needs to be an esports bar around here.
Really
some point
does.
in the
There
future.
really does. Oh my
I really
god.
feel like that's
I
gonna be a
wanted
thing.
a place called Game Clips. So it's you go get your hair cut and you watch streaming.
Game clips.
Mhm.
That's actually not
nice
that
name
bad.
for-
That,
I
yeah, that's
stole
nice
it from
for
Sports Clips because there's a place like that, and I saw it on the way to South Carolina, and I'm like, hey, that's different enough not to get sued. You couldn't play the games. Could you imagine like playing a game while you're getting your hair cut and you're like, fuck! It's like a scissor in your forehead or like a buzz. You're like, oh.
They're like shaving like with the knife. You're just like,
Yep. Yeah, they won't do straight razor shaves there. No. But yeah, I thought that was really cool.
That'd be a great idea.
I don't see any of those around. But there probably should be an MLG bar.
There
Somewhere.
really should be. That'd be awesome. I'd create my own pro team. And we would just
I
fucking
want
dominate.
like a bar arcade.
That's not Dave and
Yeah,
Buster's.
that's not like Dave and Buster's.
Yeah, I hate Dave and Buster's.
like an actual legitimate arcade.
Yeah.
With quarter machines, not like you win tickets and all this other thing. Just like an actual arcade. Just go play games, drink.
There are places, just not around here.
Yeah, no, they do exist. Very, very far and few. in
I
between.
know
Mhm.
one that's like around here.
Where?
Doghouse. Apparently in the back there's like a bunch of hood arcade machines. and
There's
shit.
I'll go there once a week. There's like a foosball table and another like arcade thing, but
Oh.
I was like, I was just there
I
on.
want there like an actual.
Yeah.
full-
That
Like
would
back in the day.
be
Yeah.
awesome.
When I was in Boston last year, there was a town outside of it. I forgot what it was, but there was like a mom and pop store in there. Walk in, huge open space, arcade computers, everything all over the place.
That's awesome.
And so it was a really cool hangout. People playing Dance Dance Revolution, Smash Bros. And 64 and stuff.
What?
And so if you just took that, added a bar, dining area too, like I just think that's a business that'll really take off.
Oh man.
They're so my buddy was telling me about this place up in Glens Falls, called Gigawatts. They don't exist anymore, but they were literally like, it was like a bar, but you could play video games.
I just think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
It'd be a good
That's
thing.
a wicked good idea.
My God, you'd actually have families who want to go in there, and then oh my God, and then they meet.
How many families want to go to a bar? Come on, honey, pack the kids up. We're going for a. I'm assuming this would not be like a family-friendly type establishment, right?
No, fuck kids.
Yeah. It's you just have the fucking because it'd be like a bar
We'll have cages outside that you can throw the kids in.
with like Atari 2600s hooked up to like black and white CRT televisions. Enjoy, kids. I'm Greg the Creamsicle again. Why not? That wouldn't be a bad thing either. Although I could see like spending a lot of money at those places.
Yeah.
A lot of money.
I would love it. But the place at Gigawatts, it was like a monthly payment or something, and you pay on a monthly basis, and like they would always have the Xbox Gold and stuff, everything like that. And when they started going out of business, they started selling the TVs, the gaming chairs, and I'm like, why wasn't I told that this was happening? I would have purchased another TV and had another monitor. Awesome.
Brings me back to GameStop. Like if they're going
All good things lead
All
back
good
there.
things lead
Yes,
to
go back
GameStop,
to
man.
GameStop. Power the players.
It's like when they're going out of business and stuff, what are they going to do with their stock?
That's what I want. You know what they probably do? They'll probably shred it so nobody can buy it. They're like, you can't
Honestly,
get
that's
any of
what
this.
I think. Like I just think they're such a greedy company and they're not even going to liquidate
No,
it.
you're gonna see eBay postings like from
Just
like
throw it out.
anonymous GS.
Just pity.
They just like call together all these gamers and they put everything into a pile and they like grill them while they burn like all the games. It's like, oh yeah,
It's just going to be a live stream.
Yep.
You're just going to be like, oh, you wanted this?
Mhm.
Fuck you.
And they charge people to come watch it too, and ask them if they wanted a warranty on their.
What animals,
I
man.
know. Wow. Because I had actually thought of that too. I'm like, there's no way. I mean, look at it. Even when they shut down ThinkGeek, they didn't even have like a going out of anything sale. They were just like ship them to other stores. It's
Yeah,
like,
just ship them to other stores and stuff. But
you're what?
what are you going to do when there's no other stores to ship it to?
Probably sell it for hand jobs.
Yeah.
No
Hand jobs.
GameStop.
My
probably.
God, that'd be the best. I'd be like, alright, I'm gonna leave with all of...
Not if you're the
Want to
hand.
sign up for the rewards card? No, thank you.
No.
I'll give you a hand job if you do it.
Really?
It might actually be
80
worth
grit.
it.
Sir, your hand is like 80 grit sandpaper. Please get away from me.
It's $15. What do you expect?
50. That's true. Yeah, you're not gonna get any aloe and vera on that shit.
It's like, this burns more than this
No.
enjoyable. I paid $15 for this.
Don't look at me. Don't look at me.
What happens is gonna walk away.
Oh my god. All right, well, fuck it. I'm gonna call it here, boys. You want to say goodbye or anything, Tumbles? No. You got anything you want to say before you go, Mikey?
It's been an hour and 20.
Yeah.
Damn.
That's how it goes.
Yeah, I feel like we just started talking, honestly.
That's how it goes, man. It's like
That's quick.
it does. That's what women say. That's ironic.
Oh, you hear that a lot?
A lot. Not anymore. I used to.
Wait, what?
I suck. All right. Well,
Sock's got some stories.
it's
Call
not
me
if they know what's good for them.
It's called a Dreamcatcher.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Wow, profound, bro. Profound. Mike, thank you so much for coming on today, bro. We really thank you, man. We really appreciate you coming on, and thank you for the coffee and everything. And this has been fun, and we will absolutely do this again sometime.
Man, I actually like this a lot. I don't know. This is very enjoyable. Doing a podcast.
It was fun. We'll definitely have you back again.
I'd love to be back.
Yeah, we'll give the missus a big hug for me. A special shout out to Alyssa. And Tumbles, anything you want to?
No.
I think you should just stop in the Dreamcatcher.
End on a high note.
Yeah, end on a
Make
good
them
one.
want more.
Guys, that's right. Guys, go out there.
That was amazing.
That was amazing. Guys, go out there, do good things because nobody else is going to. If everybody did one good thing for somebody else each day, this world wouldn't be such a bad place. From everybody here at HefTV, thank you guys for watching and listening. Because, again, if you can watch the podcast, how the hell are you doing that? That's pretty cool. We love you guys, and we'll see you next week on HefTV. And, yeah. Bye.
Use those Dreamcatchers.
No, see, now you're beating a dead horse. No, you should have just stopped. No.
It was.
You're fired.
I have never.
That's it. I can't work with it. I absolutely.
That was fucking funny.
I fucking quit. I'm so done this time.